All right, thanks a lot. In Selma earlier today, Buddhist monks walked into town, marking a stop 100-mile cross-country voyage. The purpose of this, trying to spread the message of peace. WSFA 12 News reporter Ivan Alvano was in Selma speaking with the community and the monks on what this journey means.
Well, it was just after 11 a.m. when the Walk for Peace stopped through downtown Selma, met by the community with open arms, greeting them and sharing a meal with them.
Now is time for us to bring this message to all people, hopefully that they can awaken it, that everybody will live in peace, harmony, and compassion.
They've been walking for 55 days, sometimes up to 28 miles a day, with different monks hailing from different countries like Vietnam, Laos, and Thailand, drawing people to see them from both near and far.
I saw yesterday that the monks are going to be walking through and walking over the Edmund Pettus Bridge, and I got up this morning and I drove down here.
As for the city of Selma, they found out about the Selma stop just 2 days ago, which led to quick city planning. But that didn't stop the community, who were ready and appreciative of the arrival.
I think it's a very delightful thing to see monks from different countries, and I hope they exceed in life.
The Walk for Peace will continue on as the monks are set to spend the night tonight at Southside High School before they'll get on 80 again, walk towards Montgomery for their eventual destination of Washington, D.C. Ian Alvano, WSFA 12 News.
The Walk for Peace will continue through Alabama, with the White House in D.C. planned as the last stop.
Today is a peaceful day. This is
Your kind heart and wisdom forgiven me. I honestly forgive all those who have wrong attitude, words, and thinking that caused the damage and suffering to me. I honestly forgive myself and wish since now to ever doing wholesome things, avoiding unwholesome things, keeping pure mind. If by deed, speech, or thought, foolishly I have done wrong, may all given forgive me, honored ones, who are in wisdom and compassion strong. I freely forgive anyone who may have hurt or injured me. I freely forgive myself. May my teachers be well, happy, and peaceful. May my relatives be well, happy, and peaceful. May my friends be well, happy, and peaceful. May the indifferent persons be well, happy, and peaceful. May the unfriendly persons be well, happy, and peaceful. May all beings in this area be well, happy, and peaceful. May all beings in this city of Selma be well, happy, and peaceful. May all beings in this state be well, happy, and peaceful. May all beings in this country of the United States of America be well, happy, and peaceful. May all beings in this universe be well, happy, and peaceful. May suffering ones be suffering free, and the fear-struck fearless be. May the grieving shed all grief, and all beings find relief. Thank you so much. May you all be well in this
So we are now at the border of Alabama, and we are here saying goodbye to Mississippi. Thank you so much for all the hospitality and all the love that you have given to us. And thank you so much for all the law enforcement department that's been escorted us these days to make it easy for us. Thank you so much for that. And we are here, the border of Alabama, saying goodbye to Mississippi. Thank you so much.
Alabama morning, sky hanging low. Red clay whisper where the long roads go. No hurry here, just time and ground. Every quiet step is holy now. Home ain't a place with walls or a name. It's walking steady through joy and pain. Alabama holds us soft and slow. Peace walks with us, mile by mile we go.
We now in Alabama now. So this is our 4th state. We still have a long journey to go. And so may you all be well, be happy and peaceful. Remember, today is still going to be our peaceful day. Namo Vitalia.
By the time the walk for peace reaches Alabama, the road itself seems to ask for silence. The land stretches long, and unhurried blacktop runs straight for miles, bordered by pine red clay and the kind of quiet that doesn't need to be filled. This is no place for urgency. Alabama teaches you to slow down whether you intend to or not. The monks continue walking. Not all of them, but enough. One remains behind, healing, carried forward in intention rather than footsteps. His absence is felt, not as loss, but as purpose. Every step taken now is also taken for him. The walk has reached its 55th day. Time moves differently by then. Days stop counting themselves. The body knows the road before the mind does. The pace is no longer chosen. It emerges slow, steady, unforced. The monks do not talk much as they walk through Alabama. They don't need to, the road is already speaking. More people begin to join them now, not in crowds, in quiet numbers. Someone walks a mile, someone else just stands and watches. Others fall into step without saying a word, matching the rhythm instinctively, as if the body remembers something the mind has forgotten. This is not instruction. This is invitation. The monks place their feet carefully, not ceremonially, just attentively. The sound of sandals on pavement becomes a kind of low music, keeping time with breath. When the mind wanders, the road brings it back. Straight lines have a way of doing that. Aloka moves between steps and stillness. When she walks, she is fully there, tail up, eyes forward, present in a way humans struggle to be. When the road grows too long or the surface too harsh, she rests safely in the support vehicle, watched over, protected. Nothing is forced, compassion decides the pace. This is what peace looks like in practice. Not performance. Not perfection. It's care applied moment by moment. Alabama holds this quietly. Church bells ring somewhere in the distance. A truck passes, the wind shifts, and still the walk continues. Not against the world, but within it. The monk who cannot walk is not forgotten. His recovery shapes the walk now as stillness balances their movement. No anger walks with them, no resentment keeps pace. The road is not asked to explain itself. This is not about distance anymore. It is about how you place a foot on the ground when no one is watching. About how you keep walking when someone you love cannot. About how peace does not require speed to arrive. 55 days in, Alabama does not rush them onward. It receives them as they are. Tired, determined, present, and in return it offers the simplest teaching of all. Walk slowly enough to hear your own life moving through you.
In here, I have a question: where are we coming from, and how long will it take to reach to the destination? So we started in Fort Worth, Texas, on October 26th, and it will take us somewhere around 108 days to 120 days to get to Washington D.C., the White House. And the second question is, what is the purpose of this walk? We are walking to raise the awareness of peace, loving kindness, and compassion to all people, that hoping that everyone will live in peace, harmony, and unity. Our world and our country will soon be healed. What words of hope can they express for the community of CD Meridian? I mentioned earlier at the meeting that every day when you wake up, just write down one statement for yourself. Today is going to be my peaceful day. And then after you wrote it down, read it over and over and read it out loud to make sure that you remember it, you memorize it. And throughout the day, please work, be mindful on everything that you do, one thing at a time, and then just be peaceful for your whole day. What do you think is about happening all over the planet? Because of all these things that happening around the world, that is why we choose to walk for peace, to raise the awareness for all people to come back and look within to find peace and happiness for themselves. And thank you so much for everything. May you all be well, happy and peaceful.
On a Kolkata morning, in the dust and heat, a small spotted shadow wandered lonely in the street. No roof above him, no hand to hold, just a heartbeat searching for a place to call home. Then he saw the monks walk gently, robes like flowing gold. He followed soft footsteps down the ancient road. A loco walks with me through the mountains and the rain. Little heart of courage, little lamp against the pain. Every mile a teaching, every breath a silent plea. A loco walks with me. A loco walks with me. Though the gayest starlight shining on his tired paws, Sarnath, the wind around him whispering the Buddha's laws. Through the winter frostbite, through the summer's burning air, he never turned back. Love had taken him there. He walked like a pilgrim with a tale that never lied. A small four-legged monk by his teacher's side. A loco broke the silence and the world felt cold. Broken bones trembling, breath fading thin, but love lifted him up, refused to give in, and slowly, slowly he rose to his feet, a miracle wrapped in fur, returning to the beat. A loco walks with me through the mountains and the rain. Little heart of courage, little lamp against the pain. In his eyes the sunrise, in his steps a sacred key. A loco walks with me, a loco walks with me. From stray dog to brother, from darkness into light, he carries a simple truth through every day and night, that kindness is a refuge and love can set you free. So a loco walks with me. 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 A loco walks with me.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to probably the most exciting episode so far in my podcast live from the Hermitage. And to my regular viewers, we are not actually at the Hermitage, as I said last week's episode. I am visiting family for the holidays. We are still in Alturas, but we came down from the Hermitage to be with family. There are 3 adults here in an RV and 5 dogs. So that's our Christmas, and it's going to be quite something. And so we're going to show you around, actually. I made the camera sort of portable this week. So that's our tree, guys. And it's really beautiful. There's an ornament on there for every dog and for every person here. Where's my C? There's my C. There's mine. So that's my ornament for this year. My sister actually handles all of this stuff. Now I'm going to turn around and see if I can catch the stockings hung with Christmas joy. Let me know if you guys have any trouble with the audio or the video during this stream. And hello, by the way, I'll say more hellos, but hello to Rob's audience as well. Thanks for joining us tonight on Live from the Hermitage. But there's our stockings. There's one for each of the dogs. As I said, we have 5 here and 3 adults. And now, guys, drum roll please. As a lot of you, my regular viewers, might know, we have a new addition to our family at the Dharma Wheel Hermitage. Yesterday we had 2 dogs, my co-hosts, who everybody, my regular viewers, know, Xander and Xavier. And we have a new one. I would like you to meet Bruno Mark. Bruno, say hello. say hello to your faithful audience. Bruno is enormous already. He's 8 weeks old, so just a baby by any standards. Already weighs, I would say, north of 15 pounds. He is a Pyrenees Mastiff mix. His mother was a purebred Pyrenees. I saw her today when we took her boy away at where we got them from, up on the mountain, and he will probably be somewhere around 150 pounds and gigantic when he's fully grown. And he's adjusting really, really well. He's very, very shy. He's going to be he's very timid, but he's going to be a gentle giant, and that's exactly the personality we want. He'll be very well trained. I'm a certified trainer for service animals. In fact, all of our dogs here in this camper, except Bruno, are vested service animals of various kinds, and that's kind of something our family specializes in. And I don't know if Bruno will ever be trained as a service animal per se, but there's a part of the service animal training called PAT, public access training, and he probably will get that so that he can just walk around in public and not bite people and pee on people and sit when he's told. So he'll get what's known as public access training. But he'll spend most of his life on the Hermitage, and that's what he's there for. The reason we got a very large dog was because, number one, he needed to be rescued. So he's a rescue. Both of my boys, all of my boys are rescues. But my other two boys are rescued from central Mexico, Guanajuato to be precise, if anybody's ever been there. It's actually a higher altitude than even we are now. We're at 4,600 feet above sea level. And I believe they were the boys, my boys, and we can show you Xander. You guys know Xander, my regular audience. That's Xander Bay. He's curled up and sleeping. And over there in his little festive Christmas sweater is Xavier Fox. And those are my two rescues from Mexico. And this is their new brother, who we brought home just hours ago. And I'm just quite smitten with him, so had to show him off. So everybody in my audience, say hello to Bruno Mark. Now, I kind of got to get jiggy with the camera thing tonight, guys, so got a lot going on. We've got the new bot, as you guys have been maybe noticing in the chat. So go ahead and type in !raffle and get into the raffle for a free mailer, and I'm going to get them out like by the by right here and give you a look-see at these things because they're really quite amazing. We're really, really proud to offer these, and we'll be offering them continuously on the website, always for free. And they'll come with a little tiny card that tells you, a little thing, card that tells you how to use them. But they're probably gonna. I'll try to just show them one at a time, because through it just to show them justice. Here's one. There's another one. Probably can't show it too good on the camera. Don't seem like they're showing up that nifty. There's another one. And they're just standard mailers, but they're of different types. Some of them have the Chinese knot for auspiciousness in them, and so you can see that there in the middle, and that's for auspiciousness and healing. And then let's see if I can find one with the door jade. Some of them have the most. There's one. And so these type here, and you'll get to pick if you win the raffle. You'll get to pick. But I don't know if you can see it, but there's a tiny little Dorje, a metal Dorje, Vajra. Turn it that way. Maybe you can see it. It's right there. It's at, right at the. And so that's another nice one. We've got a bunch of them with the Dorjes. There's different colors, and also there's these ones with the Mahayana spacers. For those who are, if you're a Mahayana Buddhist and you're tuned in, yeah, I know, yeah, I'm trying. But there's the ones with the spacers, the Mahayana spacers on them. So we have that style as well. I guess I'll try to just post pictures to whoever wins. I'll just post you pictures or something. But they're really gorgeous, guys. I got to tell you, the jewelry. This is a nice Mahayana one here with the where the spacers are like highlighted. There we go. Huh? Kinda. So this is one of my favorites here. This red one. I really love the red one. That's got a Chinese auspiciousness knot. But we're going to get more of that will take place near the end of the show. You got to be tuned in to the end of the show. It's swag, right? So the show. So somewhere near the end of the show, we'll draw the raffle. An email address to write to me. Obviously, being the holiday season, just be patient. Really glad that we finally got that. For those who watched my episode, a lot of time on my platform, the monks, they entered Alabama very ceremoniously, crossed the Alabama state line, and made it to Selma, Alabama today. And guys, they walked to the bridge. Been north of 500 people, maybe 1,000, I don't know, definitely north of 500, for sure. I've been in crowds, I know somewhat the size of crowds, definitely north of 500 people. And the crowds, definitely north of 500 people. And it was incredible with the man from the black community there, because that bridge is, deeply meaningful to them. And I wrote a whole song of unity. It's called, how many songs, guys? They're writing ballads about these men before the march is even over. I mean, this is, you think maybe a year from now they might do like a sort of, documentaries and stuff and retrospectives and, oh, this was an historical thing, right? During the march. This is why I know this is epic. This is why I know in my heart this is a cathartic moment in our country. They're changing these communities as they walk through it. So I encourage everybody who's tuned in tonight, because we're going to go to a special guest here in just a little bit. But I encourage everybody who's tuned in tonight to watch last week's episode, which we dedicated entirely to the Walk for Peace. And watch that episode, and then keep tuning in to this channel at least, and we are going to cover it. We're going to try to do commentary on it. We're going to try to really nail it, and with the idea, guys, as I said last week, of trying to pressure mainstream media to wait till it makes a comeback. I've got full bars of 5G. Okay, we're back. I'm sorry, guys. We're streaming off a hotspot, so we could possibly fade a little bit in and out. But yeah, you only get one entry, guys, per person. So if it says that, then you've already gotten in to the raffle. The bot's pretty good. I've used it before. I'm a former game streamer. For those who are new to the channel, Rob's audience especially, and we're gonna bring him on right away, straight away. Yeah, let's just bring Dr. Rob on. We don't want to burn up too much of the meeting, so we're gonna bring him on right now. Dr. Rob, we're gonna introduce you. So I want to just say a word to my my regular people who may not be 100% familiar with Dr. Rob. Let's hope he appears here in a second. There he is. And I just want to say a word about how I came to know Dr. Rob, because I think maybe Dr. Rob might even be curious about that. And I think he can hear me now. Nod if you can hear me, Dr. Rob. Beautiful man. Yes, they're wonderful. And so I just want to say a word about how I've wanted to become a monk for some time. I fully intend to become a monk. I'm the warden of the Dharma Wheel Hermitage, and I will die on that land in robes, as they say. It's my aspiration. And so as a consequence, I try to follow cool people, and especially, monks, right? I mean, that just makes sense, right? And so I literally actually started following Dr. Rob when he was a monk. And I mean, I guess I'll admit, I'll just be completely honest, that I actually cried when he disrobed, but I kept following him, and I'm a fan of his content. I think that one doesn't need to have robes or fancy titles or anything. For those who don't know me from Dr. Rob's audience, I'll introduce myself really briefly. I began this adventure by renouncing everything, taking my last $600 and building a camping kit on the back of a stainless steel garden wagon. And then I took my two boys out into the world with not one penny to my name. We lived for 3 years in Antioch, California as homeless people. We lived under the same tree, actually, a holly tree that's kind of famous now on my streams. You can go back in my previous episodes and see some of our adventures. But essentially, we lived a completely renounced life. We did not beg. We did not fly any signs or spare change or bother anybody. We went out every day around the community, and we did whatever we could to help or make people happy, to spread compassion. Usually it ended up being cleaning up, because in a city, in an urban setting, garbage tends to be the one thing that's always there, and it's the one thing you can do to sort of brighten the environment, right, and sort of make things a little bit better. And so that's how we started this adventure. And what we discovered is that people became so generous with us that we were able to come up with the idea that people who are very poor like me need a place to go, because these retreat centers cost a fortune. Like when I reached out on behalf of Lama Choga to come down here to America and to host a camping retreat, mind you, in a tents, okay, in tents and tarps, and people wanted just enormous amounts of money. They had all kinds of weird rules about animals, which, anybody who knows me, dogs are the whole point. Dogs and Dharma, right? So, so the Dharma Wheel Hermitage was born as a vision, but then because of people's generosity, within a year of announcing that vision, we were actually able to purchase the land, go up there and claim it, set up a homesteading kit that we brought with us, and now we have a full base camp with everything that's necessary to persevere and survive up on that mountain, and we have a hermitage. Mama Choga, I had a phone call with him today privately, and we discussed him visiting the hermitage next year, and also bringing some help, bringing some of his students to the hermitage to help us put the finishing touches on it. And by next fall, people will be able to come to the Dharma Wheel Hermitage at no cost, and they can bring any Lama they want, including Lama Choga. They can bring Dr. Rob. They can bring any teacher they want to bring to the hermitage, and not worry about money. There'll be a box in the prayer hall if you want to stuff something in it. If not, whatever. And that's the way we're going to work it. And I think that the world needs something like that. And I've worked very, very hard to build the Dharma Wheel Hermitage. I encourage Dr. Rob's audience to check out the website. It's www.dharmawheelhermitage.org. And just check it out, and maybe even find a way to pitch in. Like I said, if you want to come to help work, we can work out sort of working retreat where you get to meditate for a few hours a day, and you give me a few hours a day of labor, and we'll work that out. So there's always a way. Anyway, we're going to introduce Dr. Rob. So I followed Dr. Rob as just part of my idea that I wanted to become a monk, and he was a monk at the time, and I kept following him when he disrobed, and I have been listening to him very closely in the last few weeks, some of the shows that he's done. But what really caught my eye and actually made me to reach out to him, and we're going to ask him about this among other questions, we're going to do a quick interview with him, was his post on His Eminence, the Goshen Rinpoche. I took refuge from the Goshen Rinpoche January 1st last year. This past January 1st, I took refuge formally. I've been a Buddhist now for 15 years. I took refuge privately myself on a mountaintop in Santa Cruz 15 years ago. But I did it formally for the first time with Goshen Rinpoche January 1st, and his quote really it made me curious. I was like, I wanted to know, and so I joined his stream a couple of nights ago to ask specifically, why did you post that, and what were you thinking? And he answered the question very well, and then I just reached out and said, hey, you got to come on the show, man. I think that wisdom and teachers come in all sorts of flavors, colors, and wrappings, and it's important to see beyond the topics, the topical surface of things, to be able to know true wisdom, to be able to recognize it. I think Dr. Rob is a great teacher, and I know that to some people that may even sound like an absurd statement, but I'll stand by it, I'll defend it. I believe that he is guiding people on the path of Dharma and is a righteous man. And so otherwise he wouldn't be on the show. So without further ado, I'm going to bring him on. Are you unmuted, Dr. Rob? Can you speak to us? Let me see if I can
hear you. I've heard your kind words.
There he is. Okay, Dr. Rob in the house. Mister, I am so excited for this interview, so you don't mind me if I just start bugging out completely. But I'm so happy to have you on the show. I can't even believe you agreed to come on. Really, to be honest with you.
Well, we've got very low, this is a very low-hanging fruit, so I'm happy to do whatever I can to help.
Oh, no, don't even think about it that way. So I guess I want to do a little bit of an interview. I'd like you to talk about, if you don't mind answering some questions about yourself. First of all, you being a monk, let's focus on that. What, first of all, made you want to become a monk? You were a monk for 7 years. What made you make that decision in the first place? And then, if you don't mind, if it's not painful or some sort of personal thing, do you mind talking about what made you decide to disrobe?
Yeah. So what's the first part of the question is what made me be a monk, or
yeah, what prompted you to decide that? What prompted you to take the robes? And then, any other like tangential information about what it was like to be a monk, but what made you take the robes? And then eventually you set it down, right? So what made you take them off?
Well, I had a very lively experience of suffering. Mental health suffering, social suffering, whatever you want to call it, growing up. And by the time it was time for me to be independent and having access to that independence, bills to pay, good job, relationship, etc. in America, I realized that was not actually in line with my life of spirituality, my life of serious Buddhist practice, my bodhicitta, my desire to end suffering, that all of that was not actually in line with my aspiration. So I became a kind of Dharma bum in America for a few months, and it humbled me. And I realized that, well, first of all, that I lost everything that I had developed, in my business life, my material life. And then I also realized that I need a lot of support. I need community to fulfill this aspiration of getting stream entry or getting the enlightenment or just being completely fucking free is the basic fundamental idea for me, and still is. And I can remember looking at the computer screen or the phone screen and seeing the Wikipedia page for Buddhist countries. And I said, wait a minute, what am I doing here in America? So I got my ticket working as a Chinese delivery man, and I flew over to Thailand and I started to knock on doors. And if so facto, I became a Buddhist monk, and that led to 7 years of traveling the world, 7 years of being in community, 7 years of creating community, and 7 years of studying with realized meditation masters, as a monk. Now, in terms of what led me to stop being a monk, and I will say that really Buddhism, or what a monk is just about community. And it's a practical exposition. It's a real situation of real community of a spiritual nature, but it's not very Western in nature. It doesn't facilitate the Western lifestyle, the Western ego, the Western self. Even in the best of circumstances with these spiritual communities, it's still just at the beginning of what is a Western monk. What is the lifestyle? What is the richness of a Western monastic community? The conversation is just at the very beginning point. So, but really what happened is that I was in India with my master, Sayadaw Ashino Tamatara from Myanmar, and I was practicing more seriously than I've ever practiced before in my life. And basically I got myself way more deeply into the intensity and the vulnerability of self-sacrifice than my ego could keep up with. And eventually a resolution arose in my mind that said, I don't want to carry this symbol on my back anymore. And that fundamentally at that point, the robes and the lifestyle of a monk had become a symbol more than a practice for me. And that led me to giving it up. Now, that's all to say that with my experience and with my relationships and connections, also keep in mind that becoming a monk is all about relationship and connections. Whether you can become a monk or not has nothing to do with your spiritual understanding, your meditation experience, etc. It's your connection and willingness to sacrifice your life with the Sangha, with the living, breathing Sangha of monastics. So I could go and become a monk tomorrow. You can become a monk and stop being a monk up to 7 times.
Absolutely.
But right now, that's not my emphasis.
Absolutely. In Buddhism, I think that's one of the things I was clear about that in my book, and I've talked about it on my channel. The thing about Buddhism is that you can migrate between those two, the lay state and the monastic state without any shame whatsoever. Listen, guys. If you're tuned in right now, do not go away. We have another hour left in this show, and we're going to squeeze every bit we can out of Dr. Rob. Right now, we need to reboot the Zoom, and so I'm going to play a song for you while we do that, and I got it queued up for you now. This is yet another song written out of the dozens of ballads that have been written about this incredible walk for peace. And while we listen to that, I'm going to reboot the Zoom, and we're going to be back with more Dr. Rob. So don't go away, because we're going to dive deep, guys. We're going really fucking deep. So stay tuned.
Moments when people don't cry from pain. They cry because they finally see love again. When peace appears, they came without an open ground, a moving prayer without a sound, and people stopped along the way from tired lives and heavy days. Something ancient stirred inside, and tears fell freely side by side. One for peace we never forget. These are tears of joy and unity, tears we will never forget. When peace appears without an agenda, and love asks nothing yet, no lines to draw, no sides to choose, no fear to protect. Just human hearts remembering what loving kindness meant. One for peace, one for men, love forget. Love forgets, love forget, love forget. The journey itself. 2,300 miles of trust, from Fort Worth roads to DC's dust. 120 days of grace, step by step a human pace. One meal a day, the road there home. Strangers helping, not alone. Anyone welcome, none turned away. Compassion walking, come what may. Love forgets, never forget. These are tears of joy and unity, tears we will never forget. When peace appears without an agenda, and love asks nothing yet, no speech is made, no fist raised high, no anger to defend. Just human hearts remembering how broken worlds can bend. No forget. Beside them walked a quiet soul, a loyal dog named Alokaho. When the road hurts back, then came the night, the sudden sound, a broken moment on the ground. A monk was hurt, the road went still, the body shaken, not the will. No rage erupted, no blame took hold, no hardened hearts, no fists closed. They breathed, they cared, they held the pain, they chose compassion once again. And when the road could carry feet, they rose, returned, and did not retreat. Suffering met with steady grace, the walk continued, same clear pace. What we carry forward, what we carry forward. These are tears of joy and unity, born where love has no conditions. Peace without an enemy, no permission, no position. In divided times, uncertain days, when anger fills the air, a quiet walk becomes a vow that love is still a choice we share. These are tears of joy and unity, tears we will never forget. Not because the road was gentle, but because compassion never left. We didn't just witness a journey. We witnessed who we can still be.
Hey everybody, thank you so much for joining me on another live episode of Live from the Hermitage. It's been a really exciting night, and I'll be honest with you, my heart has been pounding since like probably an hour before the show, because I was putting together the video clips and the songs and everything. We have the most incredible guest, and we're going to dedicate the entire rest of the show to him. We're going to bring him back on. What happened is I'm a cheapskate and I don't have Zoom Pro, so there's all kinds of pitfalls to that, which is, everything times out. But we're going to bring Dr. Rob back for another 40 minutes at least, and then we'll bring him back a third time if he'll come back. We're going to keep him all night, and I got lots of questions, guys. And the next ones, we're going to, like I said, we're going down the rabbit hole tonight, guys. That's why we brought Dr. Rob on, and we're going way down the rabbit hole. So don't leave. Don't tune out. And also, if you're just joining the stream, type into the chat !raffle, all together, all one word, !raffle, and the bot will give you a ticket for tonight's raffle. We've got these gorgeous mailers, guys, and you get to pick which one you want. And I know they're all just kind of clumped together. I'm not making them look very gorgeous, but you've got to trust me. Some of these have these wonderful little metallic visors on them, on the bead. I mean, they're really nice. And you'll get to pick which one you want. I will arrange that somehow. Maybe I'll take pictures of each one. Or you can let us pick, or whatever, however you want to work it. But in order to win, you got to type in !raffle, and then also you got to stay to the end of the stream. Because if you're not here when we draw your name, then we're going to draw again until somebody who's here wins. So let's get Dr. Rob back. Let me go start another Zoom meeting real quick, guys. Just I'm going to just keep talking. I encourage everybody, as I did last week. Oh, I gotta wait 2 more minutes, so I gotta talk with you for 2 minutes, guys. Sorry, bear with me, be patient. But I got something to talk about. One of the things that I wanted to talk about is how we can be encouraged to participate in the walk for peace. And so one of the things that the monks have asked people to do in their own little places in the world, their own homes, especially during the holiday season, is to walk with them for peace. And so how do you do that? Well, you do that by, just being mindful the same way they are, step by step through your life, with the contemplation in your mind of peace. And it's walking meditation. It's very common, really, in Buddhism. And then, also you can spend time focusing on your breath, the sort of the core meditation of Buddhism, really, to meditate on the breath and use that as a focus. They're encouraging that during the walk for peace. And the other thing that is my idea as content creators and as people with social media, access to social media, one of the things that you can do is to put this out and make your own little circle aware of this. Put this out on your social media streams. Put their videos out. They have a website, a YouTube channel, and a Facebook page. It's linked in the description of the stream. So go over there, and one of the things you can do, their streams are incredible, right? So you can just watch one after another and just keep hitting like, right? Because we all know how it's the algorithm, right? So that helps. And I think that shining light, using our sort of American Western, social media is our realm, right? This is our jungle, right? So we can use it to bring light to what's going on. And the goal being, I have a very specific goal in mind. I want us to hack the system. I want us to bring enough light using independent media, which is what I am. What Dr. Rob, to a certain extent, is as a content creator, but I certainly consider myself an armchair Buddhist podcaster. We're going to bring him back. Dr. Rob's coming back. We got to wait the 2 minutes out. I'm trying to talk it off here, guys, and be interesting. But so just put it out on your own little channels about this walk for peace and keep shining light on it. And then we can get mainstream media coverage. And then when they get to DC, we'll see what happens. Who knows? Maybe they'll even be received at the White House because they're already an internet sensation. So now we're bringing Dr. Rob back. And it's going to let me create a new meeting. So how joyous and wonderful is that? Be patient, folks. And there I am. And And just it's going to take another minute or so to get the meeting code over to Dr. Rob. I have to first beam it to my phone and then beam it to Dr. Rob. So just give me a couple of seconds, guys. And I appreciate your patience. But Dr. Rob will be returning shortly. There we go. And let me see, what else can we talk about? I mean, about the only news, this is the last stream, of course, before Christmas. So happy holidays to my audience, to Dr. Rob's audience. I hope and I pray literally for each and every one of you. I have a prayer that you will be with your family, with your loved ones, and have a joyous and a peaceful holiday. I think that it's amazing to me as an American that they're reaching sort of the peak, the halfway point of this march during the Christmas season, because as I said in the last show, is Christmas not the this is the time of peace, right? I mean, this is a time sort of universally in our country anyway, where we think about giving and peace and compassion. So I think this is just really, we do Buddhist Christmas. We have to, because we're a split family. We have Christians and Buddhists living together, and so we celebrate Christmas, and I just think it's wonderful. Now, Dr. Rob, if you're listening on the stream, I'm sending that link to you right now. And it'll be along shortly. Okay, Dr. Rob will be along shortly, guys. Thank you for your patience. And we go long. This show, for those new, the show is called Live from the Hermitage. It airs every Saturday, 9 to 11, but we can stream as long as we want because I'm the boss. So there's no constraint on that. And I believe we have Dr. Rob coming in the meeting really shortly, so we might even hear a little alarm when he pops in. Yes, Dr. Rob. Can you hear me, sir? Wonderful. Thank you guys, everybody, for your patience. It's so worth it. We got another 40 minutes with this incredible man. And like I said, now we're going down the rabbit hole. We've talked about the nice stuff and the easy stuff and everything. But Dr. Rob, I've listened to a lot of your streams, and easy is not the way you like to go. So we're prepared to go hard with you here at my podcast. So how about we talk about consciousness? And I'd like to hear your idea, because it was asked of me by a Lama one time, Lama who might even be tuned in and listening tonight. But I'm going to ask you the same question he asked me one time in a Zoom call. What is consciousness?
The box is neither empty nor full, nor is it a box. So consciousness itself is a bit of a misnomer. When you first said that word, I said, what's that? So my position is more of a great doubt and a great faith. A consciousness may be meaning like the whole world, the whole universe is in you. You are in the universe. You are the universe is you. So some master, Mahayana master, This is a South Korean Zen master who said this, very famous. The whole world is but a single flower. And then a Theravada, Thai forest Ajahn once said, this whole world is just a lump of fucking shit. This whole world is garbage. So my approach to consciousness, my approach to spirituality is very much one of wrath and generosity. So as much as you are willing to give, to donate, to offer, to sacrifice yourself, to be in neutrality, to be in unpleasantness, to be in pleasantness fully, without trying to add to it, without trying to take anything away from it, without trying to do anything with it, you will be safe. This is like the essence of detachment. And if you're not willing to give, then you should recognize the reality of wrath. You should recognize the reality of what the Buddha would call holy messengers, death, sickness, old age, and all that jazz. So it's a very intense, real kind of thing. So people get this, modern Western people, middle-class white people, get these ideas about Buddhism and meditation as some kind of $20 million retreat center. But you'd probably learn a lot more about what real Buddhist practice and life is like to go and spend time in Skid Row in LA. The first noble truth is suffering. And the deeper that you can face and realize that suffering with mindfulness and detachment, the more you can be called a real spiritual practitioner, someone who's on the path, someone that takes this seriously. So that's kind of where my teaching has evolved into and what I emphasize now. It's not that I want anyone to be hurt or I want anyone to suffer, but this is suffering. There is suffering. And that is what needs to be recognized and transformed, not feeling more comfortable, feeling more happy, peaceful, convenient. We have to face the suffering. That's where the real work and the real transformation takes place. So consciousness is just suffering, or consciousness is just nibbana. I guess it's up to each individual person what they're okay with allowing it to be.
I'd like to hear you talk a little bit about what you teach your students. I know that you have a number of students. Some, if I understand right from last night's stream, some still left over from even when you were actually still in robes, and then a sort of probably a new set of students. Talk a little bit about. I mean, what if you could bullet point, if you could dummy down in bullet point, like really quickly, what you teach them. Where are you taking your students? What can your students expect from you?
The most important teaching that I put on the table is generosity. So from human being to human being, from me to them, if they are ready to give their whole lives to the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha, to the spiritual path, it's no problem for me to make sure that they never have to worry about money, about housing, about healthcare, about any basic necessities for the rest of their life. That's for sure. That's for everybody who hears this voice and watches this live stream. That can be taken care of very quickly because I have a master. I'm a part of a tradition. I'm part of an organization, a broader organization, and it's all about accessibility. Doing good deeds with mindfulness and detachment limitlessly. So number one is generosity. Number two is willingness to communicate. And number three is being concerned with the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha as much as one possibly can. And that's how that's how much they get to decide how much success they will have on the path. I'm not a Tibetan tulku. I'm not a reincarnated Lama. I'm not some kind of super enlightened person. I'm a human being who's taking care of his own life and has a lot of experiences with enlightened meditation masters and living as a monk. But fundamentally, this is just an act of play and an act of generosity from my side. And how far people want to take that is up to them. But I'm not here to create any kind of organization that's trying to, propagate Buddhism or make a $20 million retreat center that facilitates, middle-aged white people in America to feel more comfortable about their greed and their hoarding of wealth. That's just not where my mentality is. So this is an invitation to be challenged, and this is an invitation to give. As much as you want to be challenged, as much as you want to give, I will try to facilitate that. And in terms of me teaching or working with people, well, I'll just try to help people based on my experience. The Buddhist path is there. I mean, how many Buddhist books are there? Thich Nhat Hanh is there. Ajahn Brahm is there. Lama Choga is there. And many, many masters and teachers. The list can go on and on and on. Ajahn Sumedho, people that are much more enlightened than I'll probably ever be. So go and listen to them. Don't come here and bother me. So I don't have this idea of, I need to be responsible for what other people think. I'm responsible for what I think. I'm responsible for my intentions. And if somebody wants to be in relationship with me, they better be concerned with the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha. They better be concerned with generosity, virtue, and being willing to communicate about that, not just holding on to some rigid position that they've established about it and then to judge someone else from that position.
Well, I'm not going to lie to my own audience. I really want you to first of all go follow the YouTube channel is at Monk Life, all one word, at Monk Life. Follow him on
Monk
YouTube.
Life Meditation. That's
okay.
the channel name, Monk Life Meditation.
Okay, and I think I hopefully I linked to it below, but in any case, if I didn't, I'll change it. But follow him on YouTube, guys, so that you, because I just think you should follow him. And I want to say a few words. What you will experience is something that to the average person might look very chaotic and, to be honest with you, quite wrathful. And we're going to talk about that, guys. We're diving into that tonight. We got plenty of time to go, and like I said, we're going all the way down the rabbit hole tonight with Dr. Rob. I love this man, and I love everything about him, including all of the ridiculous chaos that takes place on his stream. And we're going to talk about what that is and the role that plays in in the message that he's ultimately trying to get across, which I actually think is ontological. And that's just my guess, but we're going to get Dr. Rob's opinion about that. But give him a follow, watch his streams, be prepared, because I think that his approach to what he does, first of all, understand something. Dr. Rob, and I'm gonna put the shield up for him on this one, is a content creator first and foremost, guys. You have to understand that we are content creators. We are not. I'm not a Dharma teacher.
This is not a meditation retreat.
Lama Choga is the Dharma teacher. If he's still tuned in, God bless you, Lama Choga. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Thank you so much for being with us tonight. He's a flippin' teacher. Okay, I'm a builder. I like to build stuff. I want to build in the Sangha. I want to create physical spaces where people can go and be free to take the approach of Dr. Rob or any other approach, any other Lama or person who wants to come to the Sangha, or they want to come and create content at the Sangha, which, how many places are forbidden? Look at the terms of service of all of these fancy-ass retreat centers that we've tried to set up retreats in this Sangha of ours, in the Insight Sangha. And they cost enormous amounts of money. It's ridiculous, right? And so now we're gonna, and I that's what I like about Dr. Rob's approach, is that he is approachable by anybody. But so now, Dr. Rob, let's talk about your streams, dude. Okay, now there's no getting around it. Those streams are I'm just going to call them wrathful. And leave it at that. And I want you to comment on that from the point of view of my viewers who are now going to go check you out. So what would you say to, for instance, to my viewers right now, as they're going to your channel, maybe later after the stream, hopefully, and flipping through a few of the videos, what's going on there? What should they take away from that now that you're in the cool-headed sort of, like semi-normal space? What should they take away from that? What is the teaching there? What is the lesson there? What is your content about there?
Well, the content is precisely about the problem of continuously taking. If taking worked, if going around and taking worked, concerned with the Dharma and developing insight and wisdom and compassion, then we would be on cloud nine everywhere. Everywhere would be on cloud nine because we have more access to Dharma teachers online than ever before in human history. So the problem is that people are going around taking, and they're not being given positions and situations and opportunities to sacrifice themselves in an uncontrived way, to be vulnerable, to be humbled by reality. So the streams are very much an invitation and a challenge to people's egos, to people's sense of self, to people's sense of spiritual superiority and understanding, and an invitation to have a conversation, to connect, and to go deeper. It's really easy to be a middle-class white person with hundreds of thousands of dollars in the bank and consider yourself to be spiritual because you like this Dharma teacher and you like that Dharma teacher and you live a very comfortable, idealistic life. But that's not really what the Dharma is about. And for Western people, there is a mentality, and consider that these streams are for Western people. And not just that, these streams are for the unwashed masses. I am not leading a meditation retreat in my live streams. I am not giving formal Dharma talks in my live streams. I am not running classes or courses in my live streams. I'm just showing up and giving and sharing. I've coined this term. Many of the live streams, and I'd say the school of Buddhism that I'm sharing about, is a kind of non-dual Buddhist absurdism. And many of the sharings or the live streams that you will see is a kind of non-dual Buddhist absurdism, avant-garde art. So fundamentally now I'm an artist. I'm very well equipped. I can lead a 10-day Vipassana retreat. I can teach Vipassana. I can sit on a throne and teach the Dhamma. I can write some things in my notebook and put on a good face and meditate and teach. Certainly I can do that because I have a lot of experience with masters that are that way. Like you were saying about Lama Choga, my teacher, Sayadaw Ashino Tamatara, founder of Tabarwa. That's something I have experience with doing. But this is now a kind of art and an invitation for people who want to engage and connect with something different. And, I'm also a young man. I'm 32 years old. So I'm taking advantage of my youth to be experimental, to be playful, and to be challenging. One of the things that I don't have in my mind is some kind of vague cultural responsibility to not offend white people, or to not offend Americans that are living on benefits, eating McDonald's and cheeseburgers, or wealthy white people that are doing yoga classes. I don't give a fuck about offending those people or them taking, how dare you talk about Buddhism this way? Well, I was a Buddhist monk for 7 years. I sacrificed my life for this for years and years and years. So if anything, I'm very open and flexible about offending people. Actually, it's not about offending people. It's just that I'm not under the umbrella of a concern about offending people who happen to be scrolling on YouTube or have this position of comfortability and this appropriation of authority when it comes to the Dharma. So it is a challenge to those kinds of people and that kind of energy for sure.
Guys, we got much more to go tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is live from the Hermitage. I am the Dharma Bum himself, and I am here with Dr. Rob from the Monk's Life channel. My bot pulled through for me today, and the minute that he appeared in the stream, my bot announced out his channel for you guys. I believe that should be it right there, if it's working properly. And so also enter the raffle, guys. We've got these gorgeous mailers. I'll put the camera back on here. Hold on a minute. Hopefully it comes up. There it is. And we've got these incredible, gorgeous mailers. Buddhist swag, but they're really high quality. They're gorgeous. And we'll let you pick the mailer of your choice, or we'll pick one for you. And you have to enter ! raffle in the chat right now. And then the bot will give you a ticket. And you have to be around at the end of the stream, whenever that happens to be, when we do the drawing. If you're not here, we draw again until somebody who is here is, and then just we'll work out a way for you to shoot me a mailing address and we'll send it right out to you. It'll come with a little instruction card on how to use a mailer. If you're not 100% familiar, you don't have to be a Buddhist to win. You can take up the mailer anytime you like. Anybody can take one home tonight. So thank you for Dr. Rob's audience who have joined us, Lama Choga who joined us at least earlier this evening, may still be with us, and thank you everybody in my crew for coming tonight. This is the last stream before the holidays, and so we really wanted to put on as decent of show as we could for you. We hope you have the most incredible holidays ever. Dr. Rob, you answered that question literally exquisitely. This is one of the funnest shows I think that I've ever done here, and it goes to show, like I said at the top of the show, you know, if you go to these fancy retreats, okay, I'll give you an example. One retreat, and I'm not going to name it. I don't want to shame people. I'm not up to shaming people, okay? But one retreat center that we looked at here on the west coast of California. Now, granted, they were a hospice. They were a hospice, and they were dedicated to the Boo Medicine Buddha. But nevertheless, they had a spa, they had a pool, they had really nice, fancy rooms. And they wanted something like, I don't know, it was ridiculous, I can't remember, but it was hundreds of dollars a night. And we asked them, well, can we just go camp in the woods? You've got 100 acres of redwoods in the Santa Cruz Mountains. Can we just go camp in the woods? And we don't need the spa. We don't want the pool. And they're like, no, it doesn't matter. That's what it costs. And I became a bit resentful at that point. It's a really beautiful place. I would have loved to have done a nature retreat up there. And it was really what drove me to my project at the Dharma Wheel Hermitage. That will never again be the case. There is somewhere in California now, guys, where you can go and nobody's going to charge you money. You got to come, like I think I a lot like what Dr. Rob said. You got to come with seriousness. You got to come with a practice. You got to come with a teacher. But if you come with all of that, you won't be denied. You can, but you've got to put up a tent. You've got to cook your own food. You've got to, go dig a hole or go. We'll have an outhouse probably, and you got to go shit in a hole, and that's just life. And then you sleep out under the stars maybe, and that's just how you're gonna live out here, because there's not going to be any fancy pools or spas or any of that stuff. You're going to want one of those when you get off this mountain, trust me. This mountain will put you to the challenge in many different ways, including just getting up and down to the different locations around the Hermitage. So, and so, Dr. Rob, I want to go even deeper. You seem to me to have a very hardcore group of people for which you can do no wrong. And I've noticed that in the stream the other night. I appreciate a loyal audience. I appreciate a loyal group of people. And I encourage you, if you're one of those folks who really loves Dr. Rob, the way I do, that's why he's on my show. He wouldn't be here if I didn't. That's just that. I mean, I do what I want. But if you chime in the chat, if you're one of those folks. But I wonder if you could speak to that. But then you also seem to have this concerted group of trolls that, for content's purpose, and you've actually admitted that last night, whether you remember it or not, for content's purpose, you keep them around, and just really grind them to dust. And so speak to that. Speak to your hardcore people, how you feel about them, and your relationship with them, as opposed to this rather also large group of trolls that you kind of seem to keep like penned up like content cattle.
Well, nothing in life is for free. You know, everything has a cost. Everything has a cost. So, in terms of me being a teacher or a guru or what have you, that's not really up to me. That's up to people who become concerned with me and may want to give me that position in their lives. But I can't make myself a guru for anybody else because I'm not a Tibetan tulku. I'm not a reincarnated Lama. I'm certainly not a Buddha. So people make decisions about how they judge things, and those decisions are their problems. So in the same way that I can have people very devoted or loving me or supporting me, etc., they're just as right as people who absolutely despise me or want to go against me or say negative things about me or what have you. So my position is not, it's not that I can do no wrong. It's that the nature of the relationship is in mindfulness and detachment and unconditional love. So the practice of mindfulness and detachment expresses itself as this kind of unconditional love. And there's going to be a lot of imperfection in working with others and being in community.
Okay, we finally got, hold up, Dr. Rob, because we finally are starting to get some interaction from the audience here, and I just want to read off what they just said. So Dr. Rob is the best. Beautiful teachings. Though both him and through both him and through his haters. So what this person is basically saying, which is kind of was my angle, actually. I was thinking the same, really, just from my very brief, sort of watching him the last few days intensely. But so what this viewer is saying, I don't know if you can see the chat, Dr. Rob, but this viewer is saying basically that you're teaching not only through the positive things that you teach, because I've heard you do meditations. You're good. It's you're a meditation teacher. There's nothing wrong with that. That's a good thing to be, and I've seen that. And then also what they're saying is that also through your haters and through these wrathful streams, you seem to be teaching something and lessons.
Well, if you have the Dharma, if you are in tune with the Dharma, then your life, yourself, your essence is a teaching. There's a kind of non-duality or selflessness that radiates out of your core. When you speak from your core, when you return to your core, at least from a Buddhist lens, that's a core of non-self. That's a core of impermanence. That's a core of the unsatisfactoriness or the nibbanic nature of things. So everything kind of goes together. This view, this way of being based in detachment is the essence of what I teach and what I share and what I invite people to get involved with. Some people have called me like a spiritual entertainer, and I think that's fine. But as much as people are willing to get involved with the work going on here, I will try to mutually support them and meet them in that way. Whether that's through negativity or whether that's through positivity.
Well, I think he put it beautiful. I think that viewer
I'll say
put
no
it
to
beautiful.
both.
I don't know if you know him. His name is Wee Blue Wobble Fleeb. That's an interesting name. But anyway, it was a nice comment, I thought, and I think that the viewer really nailed what I see you as. And again, I stand by the fact that you are first and foremost a content creator. I did a show a while back. We talked about you and about other content creators, a number of them that are my favorites that are in the Dharma space. And one of the things I talked about is the incredible challenge of trying to, do something like be an armchair podcaster within the Buddhist Dharma space. I mean, that's, for instance, just how do you find swag, right? I mean, you need swag to be able to bring in viewers. You need to do giveaways. That's just the way streaming is. That's the way content is, right? So how do you even manage something like that? And it's a challenge, and your content has to be so much better, so much over the top, cooler, and more algorithm grabbing, right? Because you're in a space where the algorithms of social media, guys, as we all know, are 100% geared towards boosting hate, division, anger, aggression. These are the things that boost algorithms. These are the things that get hits, things that make people pissed, because the algorithms know that if you get pissed, you're going to click on some more other links, and you're going to keep going down the rabbit hole, right? And so the content that we put out as Buddhist content creators is 180 degrees the opposite of what the algorithm is going to reward. And so getting an audience, man, I don't know. It's just it's difficult. It's a challenge. And so I respect people like Dr. Rob who are bringing the Dharma and finding a way to bring in the audience. And I mean, let's face it, Dr. Rob is popular. Lots of people tune into his streams. I sat there for 3 hours last night and was sad when it ended. Like, literally was not bored for 1 second, okay, in that stream, and was, was just, I was grateful, I guess, when it ended, but I was looking forward to the next one right away. And so that's good content, and it's a challenge. And so my hat is off to the people like Dr. Rob, and Dr. Rob especially, because I think he's really flipping good at it. He's got the showbiz spirit, which you have to have. I mean, I'm not a lama. I don't have the magic glow from up on high. You know what I mean? I'm a hermit on a mountain. I shower once a month sometimes. No lie, right? And so, people like us, if we want to have, a part in the dialogue, if we want to create an audience, if we want to do content online, which we do, then the challenge is that we have to put out content that is as over the top as we can get without breaking it, I guess. And I guess maybe sometimes Dr. Rob might even come close to cracking it, huh? What do you think? Did I nail it, or what do you think about that? We might have lost Dr. Rob. I think he's meditating.
It's very difficult, isn't it? It's very difficult to have a clear understanding about the difference between creating content for people and teaching the Dharma. But the online space is unforgiving. So it wouldn't matter if the Buddha went live on Twitch. He wouldn't get any views.
That's hysterical.
It wouldn't matter if the Buddha started a YouTube channel. Nobody would see it. So it's a matter of the algorithm. It's a matter of many certain subtle aspects of how different platforms work. But what I try to leverage, and what I've tried to leverage for many years, because I was also doing this, while I was a Buddhist monk, is the public spaces made accessible through the internet. And if you happen to be in a public space, then you have a chance to share your energy or share your presence. And if you happen to have experience like me, then it can be a non-dual Buddhist, absurdist, avant-garde art presence. But really what we're looking for here, we're looking for donations. We're looking for people who are serious about the Dharma. We're looking for people who want to get involved. We're looking for people who want to have real conversations. But the fact of the matter is that there are very, very few people who have experience with Dharma. And many of those people who do have experience with Dharma are very contrived. They've got maybe their head's not in their ass, but they're still sniffing their own farts. And it's a real problem. So this ideal of bringing Buddhism to the West is primarily an ideal. And for people to get access to real spiritual community, or something that's progressive, dynamic, digestible for like young Western people in general, is totally off the table. And people like Mingyur Rinpoche and even the most famous lamas, who advertise on Facebook, they're really just looking for middle-aged women that are desperate to see some smiling Buddhist monk and click on it and then go down this pathway that's been laid out. So how about the children?
$50 an hour for a Zoom call, right?
How about the children? How about the people in poverty? How about the black people? How about the neurodivergent people? How about the people in poverty? We can't just go on forever saying, well, they can join a 10-day Vipassana retreat. No, they cannot. Because if you're honest, when you try to sign up for a 10-day Vipassana retreat and you're an American and you're someone who's looking to go and meditate, they're not going to let you in. So what you were talking about with these wealthy retreat centers is very, very, very fucking true. These communities, these places, these teachers are inaccessible, they're contrived, they're self-indulgent, they're prideful, they're self-interested, and they're not willing to share, communicate, cooperate, collaborate. Let me give you an example. My teacher, my root guru, let's say, Sayadaw Ashin Otamatara, he is one of the most well-known meditation masters in Myanmar. He's been a monk for 20 years, and he gets bowed to by people who've been monks for 30 and 40 years because of how fucking serious and hardcore this guy is. If there were 1,000 people watching this live stream right now, of course there aren't, but if there were, and every 1,000 of those people wanted to go and live at a meditation center for the rest of their life, or just wanted to go and dedicate their lives to helping others, to meeting the needs of others, to practice generosity, to learn about Buddhism, meditation, etc., his meditation center in Myanmar would welcome them. He would welcome all of those people. He's been teaching nonstop. He has hospitals at his monastery in Myanmar. He has dog shelters in Myanmar. He has over 100 meditation centers in Myanmar. He will help anyone, regardless of their situation or position. He will help middle-aged men who are drug addicts and give them money to come and join a meditation retreat in Thailand because they think that they are actually willing to go and meditate, when actually it's just them lost in the sauce. So for somebody like that, he can't do a fucking meditation teaching at basically any meditation center in America. If you called up one of these meditation centers and said, hey, I have an incredible meditation master monk who's a fucking Dharma teacher and is helping thousands and thousands of people all over the world and is a super radical progressive guy, could we do a meditation retreat there? Their fucking heads would explode and they'd shit their pants and they'd say, what the hell do you think this is? Why would you call a place like this with an idea like that? Click. And it's the same for people in need and people who have help. This is the standard in America. I don't know what drugs they were taking in the 60s and 70s. I don't know why they fucked up this whole situation so much, but the spiritual revolution was a failure. So now, if you want to find a spiritual community or a spiritual meditation center, a Buddhist meditation center in America, you better learn to speak Vietnamese. You better learn to speak Thai. You better go out there and find some skin dye so that you can restructure your psychology to go along with their culture. Because Asian Buddhist centers in America are way more accessible and way more populous than actual meditation centers that serve and facilitate spiritual work for Westerners, let alone actually helping people who need help. So I don't agree with any of that, and I think that all those organizations should be ashamed of themselves. I think they're contrived, I think they're conceited, and I think they need to relook at everything that they're doing.
Okay, Dr. Rob, we got about, I don't know, like maybe eight or so minutes left for you. I want to ask you two questions, and hopefully you can get time to answer them both. Number one, you've only had a few hours or whatever a day maybe to look over my website, the Dharma Wheel Hermitage. You've heard me explain what it's all about. I'd like to know your thoughts on that, and then I'd like you to close with, if you don't mind repeating the answer that you gave in your stream about why did you post the other day a very nice quote from His Eminence Garshan Rinpoche. Why did you post that, and what prompted you, and what is the meaning behind that post? And if you don't mind.
I don't know too much about it, but as long as something is concerned with the Dharma, is humble, is open, is focused on accessibility, then that's something that I mean to support. If you have $1 million meditation center, and of course these organizations have millions and millions of dollars, right? And you can't have a phone number that people can call to talk about coming there and volunteering, to talk about coming there and practicing, to talk about a possible meditation master from Myanmar, super enlightened guru, to come there and collaborate with the group, then I say, fuck that. Change it. If there's not a number that I can call to connect with your meditation center, then there's something wrong with your entire mentality of what you're doing. And you might as well be a cloistered monastery of monks in the forest of Thailand. As
Well,
for
for the record, I called you on the Dharma Wheel Hermitage line. That is our public phone number, and it's available on our website, guys. So just go over there and get my phone number anytime you like.
give this guy a call. He'll help you out. Come and live on his land. And as for Garchen Rinpoche, you might have to tell me what it was about. I don't know if I can pull it up right here.
Well, I was
Probably
just
can.
wondering what prompted you to even post about him in the first place. Have you read some of his teachings? What do you think about him? I mean, maybe there was an idea in general. What made you post that? What prompted you to? You don't have to know the exact quote. We'll find it later.
No,
I'll
I
link
see
to
the
it.
quote. I know what it was about. And it's about people having this self-convinced position of realization that hasn't been tested, that hasn't been challenged. About being an armchair Buddhist, about taking on this identity of being a Buddhist without practicing dana, without taking refuge in the Sangha, without ever going out of your way to actually humble yourself in the face of the living, breathing Buddhist community. You know, the Dharma is all about communication and the willingness to get your own ego out of the way enough to listen and to share deeply. And it's just a non-dual perspective. It's a Garchen Rinpoche. I'm sure he's great. I haven't listened to him too much. Does he speak English? Does he have
No,
Dharma talks in
unfortunately,
English?
that's
Yeah.
the hardest part of getting
That's what I
teachings from
figured.
him. Like when I did the refuge ceremony, something that would have normally taken an hour, it took 4 because every line of the entire ceremony was translated in real time, and so it was quite plodding. But so he's a tough teacher, and that's why I can't really say like he's my guru per se, because I really think I should be able to talk to my teacher in a clear sort of way. Listen, that was an incredible answer. Dr. Rob, we're coming to the end of the show. I want to say, first of all, thank you from the bottom of my heart for subjecting yourself to my show and to coming on. And I think my audience was wonderful. Thank you guys for engaging with Dr. Rob. Please go check out his channel. His channel and his donation link will, if they're not accurate now, they will be. But there should be down in the description below the stream right now. Please give him a donation. Please continue to support his content, and I'm ever hopeful that somehow we'll find a way in the years to come to get him to America and up to the Dharma Wheel Hermitage, where we'll do a stream. We'll sit around the fire together, and we'll really blow you guys' minds. We'll go even further down the rabbit hole. I just can't thank you enough for being here and for coming on the show, and I hope that you will come on again really, really soon.
May you live a long life, my dear Dharma friend, and may your dogs be healthy, and may everything go well for you, and may the Dharma Wheel Hermitage be well supported. And thank you for your work. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you for your kindness to listen to me, to give me the human dignity. And I hope that we'll be able to connect and support more people moving forward. And deep bow to the great, masterful, venerable Lama Choga, who puts us all to shame as Dharma sharers. Thank you so much, everyone. Take care.
Good night, Dr. Rob. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Dr. Rob. Well, guys, don't go away. We're going to draw for the raffle right now. And just give me a couple of seconds. We're going to... hopefully my camera's going to come on. There we go. All right, guys. It's raffle time. So, hopefully the bot has really behaved quite well all evening long. It seems to be doing really well. If anybody wants to last minute, if you haven't gotten into the raffle, type into the chat ! Raffle and do that right now. And then I'm going to bring up the raffle command center here and we'll do the drawing. Where is everybody? Need to watch here. It is quite How do I draw? Oh, there's the Wamatoga. It's Wamatoga. You got to put the exclamation point together. I'm trying to get the bot to actually do the contest, but I'm not. I've never done this before, guys. So bear with me. But it's exclamation point raffle, like all one word. How do I make it go? Savvy. Well, I should have maybe tried this ahead of time, huh? Guys, I'm not sure. I'm not sure I can. I don't know how come it's not going. Giveaways updated. Okay, but how do I run it? Oh my god, I can't even see who's in it. Who, you?
No, for anybody. Your bot came on and said that you can no longer enter the raffle. I think it was at 10 o'clock because you were supposed to only do an hour, so 9 to 10, maybe.
Alright. We gotta find another way. We're gonna have to do a trivia contest. Computer whiz, thank you, Lama. Yeah, I know. I still got like 4 minutes left in the show. Alright. We're gonna improvise, guys. First of all, if you are here to win the mailer, if you're still waiting, I want you to type in an X. Just make a single X in there so that I can get everybody queued up if you're actually going to play. We're going to do trivia. Okay? We're going to do trivia. And the first person to answer correctly in the chat, so you got to be ready. Type quick if you know the answer. So type in an X first of all if you want to play the game. X up, as they say in the streaming biz. And I'm going to ask a question. And whoever types in the answer first wins the mailer tonight. And I'll fix the bot for next week. Alright. Here goes. You ready? How many beads are there in a mailer? First person to type the answer wins the mailer tonight. No, okay. Okay, the contest just got kind of boned by my friend Bone over here, who's a bonehead in general. So now I got to come up with another trivia question. Oh my god.
Sorry.
Okay, wait. Weeble wobble fleep. Okay, he gets it. So Bone was not a real. He's not a real person. Well, no, he's been babysitting my dogs all night, so I shouldn't pick on Bone because Bone has literally been taking care of 3 of my dogs behind me. As we, I think my puppy's over here in the view somewhere. Where is he? There's the puppy, guys. One last time. Okay, so. Well, I'm gonna fix the bot for next week. But at least we got a mailer out the door. So, Weeble Wobble Fleep, I'm going to drop an email address in the chat. And I need you to just drop me a quick email with your mailing address. And that will go right out to you immediately. That is correct. Okay, so give me an email real quick. Weeble Wobble Fleep with a mailing address for your mailer. And do you have? I'll hold them up if you got. We got a minute or so to go. Is there any particular like sort of color? I'm sorry, they're such a mess, guys. Is there any particular color that you like, or would you like me to choose one? Mr. Weeble Wobble. In any case, if you don't answer before the stream ends, I'll pick one for you. Yes. Yes, email me, and like, if you've got a preference, I have Mahayana ones. I have Mahayana ones. I have the ones with the little Vajras on them, which I think are really cool. So if you're into Vajrayana Buddhism, I can send you one of those. If you got any kind of preference whatsoever. Guys, it's 11 p.m. and we have reached the end of an incredible stream. I want to really send a heartfelt thanks to Lama Choga for tuning in, and especially for tolerating all of us and hanging out with us tonight. My streams can get prosaic. I really agree with what Dr. Rob said. I mean, try to bear in mind, I'm not a teacher. I'm a builder, guys. I like to build stuff within the Sangha. I don't think I'll ever be a teacher. I think the responsibility that people like Lama Choga take upon their shoulders are more than I can bear. And I am so grateful that people like him step forward to teach us the true tantric practices of Vajrayana Buddhism. I'm just an armchair Buddhist podcaster, doing the best he can with a brand new puppy. There he is, right behind me, guys. If you look on my this shoulder, this shoulder. There he is. See him? His little head. There's my baby. That's Bruno Mark, the newest addition to the Hermitage. We have a winter appeal going, guys, so as we close out the stream, I'll just point out that all support this winter is appreciated. It's been a challenge to set up the base camp at the Hermitage, and we could really use a little bit of a zip in the donation box to catch up with a couple of bills and to put some food, to be honest with you, in the cupboards up there. Thank you so much. I hope you guys have the most incredible Christmas ever. And we will get your rosary out to you. Thank you for playing the game. We'll have the raffle bot fixed next week. I'll make sure I run some practice ones this time. And thank you unbeseen to Dr. Rob and also all of Dr. Rob's audience for joining us tonight. We really appreciate you coming to hang out with us old Dharma bums. And you guys have an incredible holiday.